Hello, you bastards. So, I wanted to talk a bit about competitive gaming. We're losing by 2 rounds, but that's not my fault. I jumped in late, and it's really not my fucking problem, is it? Because I do come into the game now, and I pretty much save my team. Because my team were getting butt fucks, and I pretty much saved them all. I carried them out of it. Not really even exaggerating there. Anyway, as the game plays Search and Destroy, and I have lots of topics in my head, yeah, sure, but I want to talk about something a bit more relevant to the gameplay, somewhat, and that's competitive gaming. Because Search and Destroy is a pretty competitive game mode, at least, yeah, no, what I'm about to say, in my opinion, no, it is a competitive game mode. Besides when trick shotters get involved, then it's not so competitive anymore. But when it's not, it's on this game especially, it's so competitive. People, they fucking get so pissed when they don't have their way. I mean, it's always traditionally been like that on Search and Destroy, but fucking hell, it's pretty bad on this. Anyway, so a lot of people, they play competitively. Sorry, I said a lot of people. Well, yeah, I suppose it is quite a few, but a lot of people have gone to competitive gaming, or you know, are considering it and whatever else. And I feel like I'm missing out. But from my perspective, this is what competitive gaming is to someone like me, someone who's basically got very little game battles and experience, and only played a few matches, and mainly plays public matches somewhat pretty well. To me, competitive gaming is, you know, basically a collaboration of gamers on different teams pitted against each other, where they pretty much are all good. You know, they've all reached a point now. I mean, I'm not really talking too much about game battles matches, although I know that counts, but I'm talking more about when they go to these tournaments, you know, these guys that are flying out to wherever they're going to play. And these guys are generally pretty damn good. And they're, you know, you've got teams out there which will be going to these events, and they'll be fighting off against each other. And you know, these are players which, if you put them in a public match game, they'll wreck it. And a good example of that is Optic Scumpy. I mean, every time I watch his videos, I'm just completely amazed. That I've never ever, and I've been playing COD since COD 4, never ever, until I watched his videos, have I ever looked at one player and thought he's really good, or even possibly considered them to be the best player at Call of Duty. Now, I don't want to make it sound like as if I'm fanboying the guy off, but he really is good. Now, to certain people, good means different things. You might be like, oh, but he's shit because he doesn't use a sniper. He's shit. He hasn't had a 5-man. Yeah, well, fuck you, alright? My opinion's the one that matters. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. Alright, never mind that. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, competitive gaming to me is something which is quite commendable. You know, it's quite an achievement if you actually kicked every other team's ass. It is. I mean, I know for a fact I would definitely be happy. And I understand these people probably get really pissed when they lose. And when you're always in a competitive environment where you're always facing off against each other players and whatnot else, it must be really difficult, because you must be sitting there thinking, fuck, like, why is it so, you know, not why is it so, but, you know, like, when you're under so much pressure, I'm sure the last thing you want is to lose, right? So you went there with the intention to win. So you don't want to be coming out empty-handed or anything. So I'm pretty certain it is quite a tense environment. And when you're in that environment 24/7, you probably, as a person, become more competitive in more than just the gaming aspect of your life. You know, you may be trying to study for an exam, and you may get a grade you're not happy with. You know, you could get a fucking A and not get the A star and be pissed. You might just be like, oh, fuck this, like, really pissed because you didn't get that A star. Or maybe you'll get an A star, but you got 1 mark off of 4 marks, and then you get really pissed off because you're just that competitive. I don't know if, man, if that was me, I wouldn't give a fuck. But some people become really competitive, and they just cannot stand not having the best, you know? It's got to be the best or nothing else. And that's why I couldn't be a competitive gamer. Because I personally do not feel the need to be competitive. Like, I know that's what, you know, these multiplayer games are basically designed for, but I've adapted. I don't know if I'd even say adapted. It's just normally been the way I've played the game. I've always played it to an extent for fun. Well, not to an extent. It's always been for fun purposes. I'm not saying competitive gamers don't play for fun, but what I'm saying is it's entirely fun about 80% of the time. Whenever I want to put my try-hard pants on and completely wreck kids, I will do that. Now, the gameplay you're watching, it may seem like I'm going try-hard, and I actually was. You know, I was like, you know, I want to make a commentary. Let me go get a gameplay. So that's exactly what I did. As I was saying, I personally just couldn't be that guy. I'm not competitive enough. And to be quite honest with you, I simply just don't care enough about, you know, winning for that to really matter. And I suppose another thing is that I'm just far too bloody awesome. I know there's probably some competitive gamers out there that don't like the fact I don't play competitively. But do you know what I have to say to those people? I say, fuck, fuck, I'm screaming, fuck, 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 I'm screaming, fuck, fuck all you haters, watch me fuck all these bitches, I got 8 different rollies, and they